Once again, YouTube, I got a situation. Alright, so the last few days, my car has been spewing oil. Yep, that's my car. 2013 Veloster Turbo, spewing oil. It's coming from a part that I didn't even know existed on this car. They consider it an oil cooler. Your oil filter mount to it is sandwiched between the oil filter and the engine block. If you look where your oil filter is, you look above it, you'll see two hoses coming down onto this metal looking piece that you screw your oil filter in. To fix the issue, you're supposed to order that part, because basically what happens is the O-ring inside of it goes bad and it starts to leak, which every morning for the last few days I've been starting my car up and I've been getting leaks about this size or bigger. So I'm gonna still order the part, but I tried something. I'm not advertising for any company, but I did try something. It's called this AT205 reseal. I put it in the car, I let it sit for about 15 minutes. Then I took the car and I drove it to a store that was probably about another 20 minutes or so from here. And then last night I took it out on the expressway, highway, whatever you call it, in your city or state, and drove the car to see if the leak still existed. And I let the car sit for about 4 hours in the spot where I ended up. And then I started up and I didn't notice a leak. So here I am this morning. I'm going to start the car up. I'm going to pull it out to about here. And then I'm going to let it run and warm up. And then I'm going to move the car back and see if a leak still exists. If there's no leak here, then we know the AT205 worked for that problem. Now, I'm not going to say it works for everything, but I think for small leaks or something like that, it actually works. Because I've tried it before in another car, but it wasn't the AT205 stuff. The car just needed a whole transmission. I ended up replacing the transmission in the car. So we're going to see if this worked together. I'm going to take my camera, I'm going to sit it over here, I'm going to start the car, I'm going to pull here, and you guys will see what I see once I remove the car from this area. Wish me luck. You will see it as I see it. Once I reverse the car after it sits there for a minute, if there's a leak still there, I'll show it to you. If there's not a leak there, you will also see it. According to the thing, you're supposed to run the car for about 5 to 6 hours. But yesterday, I put the stuff in and I left it in there for about 15 minutes, just sitting there. I started the car up and I drove it for another 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes and brought it back and sat there. Crank it up later on that evening, there was no leak there. See, there's no fresh leaks. All that was oil, as you see, as it leaked down for over a couple of days. Then last night, as I drove to the spot where I was going to, which was about 45 minutes or an hour away from here. I let the car sit again for about 6 hours and started up and drove it home. But before I left the area, I checked the ground once again. There is no leak. But as I can see right now, I think there's a leak developing, so I'm gonna have to drive it its recommended time, which is about 5 hours. So if this did not work as I thought it did, I will shoot another vehicle after I've driven it the amount of time that they stated on the box and let you know if it actually works. As I stated before also, I'm still going to buy the part, which is, I think the part here was like $140, $150, something like that. But of course you can get online and order it, but I don't trust the online stuff because I'm not sure if it's original. Or you can get with Albert on on Facebook. If you are a part of Veloster Nation, you'll know who Albert is. I'm probably gonna end up ordering it from him because it's cheaper, one, and he can get it here in a few days. But here we go. I'm gonna back the car up and see if there's any oil. And as you can see, there is oil. But considering it was doing that to this every morning, so it is working. It went from this every morning or bigger to this morning to this. This is all I got. So it does work as far as trying it simplified it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it its suggested amount of time and see if it completely seals it. If it does, I will have a second video to this. But as for now, I think that's a great change from what it was doing every morning when I started it up. So this stuff right here works in a somewhat kind of manner. I'm gonna run it this time and see what happens. All right, you guys, this was an informative video to see if this stuff actually works, and to let y'all know, if you wake up in the morning and you got oil spewing out your car, don't panic. For you to check what's considered an oil cooler under these vehicles, which is the 2013 Veloster Turbo, which has a rubber O-ring in it. The O-ring goes bad, but the issue with that is you can't buy the O-ring by itself. You have to buy the whole part. And the amount of work that you're gonna put in, be ready for it, because you have to take all that off. Basically, you would have to almost do a new oil change, remove the filter, remove that part, the hoses, replace the part, and then put your oil back in it. So I was just trying to find out if this stuff worked to try to save me a little bit of time until I can get my part here. And if it does work, hell, I might not even order the part. But anyway, thank you for watching the video. You guys have a great day. Enjoy and be safe.